The last thing I need is for have him land right down here. But yeah, I think it's probably more fear-based than external, except for the radiation.
Question right here.
Are all of the Mothman-like creature sightings coincident with appearances of more UFOs than usual, or is that unique in Point Pleasant?
She's asking if the incidence of UFOs and the incident of Mothman go hand in hand at other places than just Point Pleasant. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. They do, but not with the kind of intensity that you have here. You guys here have the most phenomenal coverage of this event. It's just amazing. Because John Keel came down, because the newspapers were not hesitant to report these things, the documentation for this area has been wonderful and given us a lot to study. However, there do tend to be UFO reports in the same places as the Mothman reports with almost 100% accuracy. The difference is they don't overlap. Here you had UFOs and Mothman at the same time. There you tend to have the UFOs, and then maybe a few months later you'll get the Mothman sighting. Yes.
Do you have a theory of why some people can go their whole life and never see a UFO, and there are some people who see them all the time?
I don't know if I have a theory about that. She's asking if why some people can see things all their life and why some people never see one. I think it's a lot of your personality. I think people have a certain naivete about them that children also have, and I think that allows them to see more. I think that when we grow up and become accustomed to seeing airplanes or towers or whatever, we kind of get immune, and we no longer notice that it's weird. But children and animals and people who are easily hypnotized tend to have better ability to see all kinds of paranormal events, not just UFOs. And it's when something is seen by somebody who doesn't fit that category that you really have to stand up and take notice, because this is obviously a phenomenon that has been strong enough to override those walls that we've already built. And I think most of us, especially in the Point Pleasant area, because I grew up not far from here too, we just kind of took Point Pleasant and the whole UFO Mothman thing as a course of life. It was just normal for here. And I don't think we really thought of it as being, well, sure, it was scary, it was kind of freaky, but over the course of the year and a half that it happened, it was like, oh yeah, there's another UFO. Big deal. And I think that makes some of us less likely to believe what we're seeing because we're so used to it. Columbus, was it Columbus? Yes. When Columbus came ashore, the natives didn't see him because they had never seen a ship that big. They were original to the area. They had never seen these ships. They didn't see it because it was not in their realm of reality. If I were to bring my great-grandmother here and show her a microwave oven, she probably wouldn't even pay any attention to it because it's not something she was ever exposed to. Now, we've got kids, little kids, who can tell you all about UFOs, who can tell you all about Mothman, who can tell you all about the monsters in their video games. It's a matter of course for them. It's not freaky because they live with it every day. So I think that the sheer number of sightings have a lot to do with that as well. You know, they'll mention, oh yeah, I saw a UFO, and it doesn't make the national news because everybody's kind of seen it already. You know? Yes.
Did you say that everyone who saw the Mothman had some kind of infirmity?
They had some kind of physical reaction. I know at least 2 of the original witnesses now have serious physical problems. Whether that is Mothman related, that can't be proven. But I do know at the time they got pink eye, they got the nausea, they got muscle aches.
Is this true of all people throughout the world that see him?
Yes.
All of them get some kind of sickness?
They all have some kind of physical reaction. The nausea and vomiting is universal, everybody. But not, they don't all have everything, and they're not all lifetime problems. But it tends to be that the more significant and more often the sighting, the more long-lasting the physical disabilities, yes.
Do you
find that in the areas where you have an increased UFO sighting, a lot of UFO sightings, and then the Mothman sightings in the same area, the sightings are being made by the same individuals for both incidents, or do you find that it's just a general group of people that are seeing them or anything like that?
I do find that most Mothman witnesses have also seen UFOs, but I don't find that UFO witnesses have necessarily seen the Mothman. Does that answer your question?
Well, I just wondered if maybe you're getting, like, you know, John reports he saw the Mothman. Do you generally see that John also reports that he saw a UFO around the same time?
About half the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that about half the people are witnesses to both. And that same group, and sometimes a little more, also have poltergeist activity in their homes, especially in the Point Pleasant area. During the UFO and Mothman flak of the 66 and 67, a lot of people, even those who had no relationship to Mothman or UFOs, had poltergeist activity. It seemed to be a whole area, the whole area was just affected by this. Yeah. Some Mothman witnesses have experienced radiation burns, yes. And this is interesting because it is documentable by science. Science loves to have stuff they can put their stamp of approval on. And in this case, it's great. It's a great find. I know that sounds terribly horrible, but yeah, if you've got a radiation burn, I want to see you. Because it gives me something tangible that I can take back to the scientific community and say, see, there's something here. Did everybody over here? Native American legends, interestingly, the natives have always believed that there's something in the sky. They don't call it aliens, they don't call it gods, they just accept that there's something out there that they're not in control of and they don't know about, which is a great, great thing as far as I'm concerned, to just be able to accept something without question. There is a southwestern legend of the Thunderbird, which is a giant bird that rises straight up out of the sky. There are some camps that believe that that is a Mothman event. But the natives didn't tend to either worship or question this. They just took it as much a part of their life as a wolf or a bear. Neither. It wasn't a harbinger of doom or anything like that. It was just part of their life.
Any other questions? Yes.
That's a good question. She's asking if I think that Cornstalk's curse and the Mothman sightings have anything to do with each other. My first answer is no, with a disclaimer. I think that, first of all, I don't necessarily believe in curses, but if anybody had the right to give this area a curse, it was Cornstalk, because we did some really crappy things to him and his family. However, I do know that Point Pleasant does have an unusually large amount of stuff happen. People killed in, well, not just the bridge collapse, but when barges hit the bridge and blow up, and you know, car wrecks, and people who are connected to each other. I think there's something in this area. Whether it's Cornstalk related or not, I kind of tend to say no. But that's just my belief system. You know, it could be that we find out someday that curses are real, and that's what caused all of this stuff. It has. It's almost as if the town is cursed, so it's easy to maybe believe that, if you believe in curses at all. And see, I don't know, I think that whatever's up there guiding us has his own agenda, and that mere mortals can't curse. You know, for whatever reason, this town's got a bad deck of cards.
Any other questions?
Is there any evidence of the ley lines and energies of the earth as to where these places happen?
She's asking about ley lines. Ley lines are lines that connect places in the earth that have some significant paranormal or religious activity. Point Pleasant does not lie on any of the known ley lines, and people have been for about 300 years now making up their own ley lines based on what has already happened and connecting the dots. So I personally don't have a lot of faith that ley lines have anything to do with each other. The prime meridian, the original prime meridian that you read about in the Da Vinci Code, I think there might be something there, but it really hasn't been documented enough for me to put my support behind it completely. They're linking MacArthur, Ohio, and Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and Marietta, Ohio, make kind of a paranormal triangle. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. There's a lot of old healers, a lot of Indian legend, a lot of witchcraft, a lot of paranormal activity. There's a group of people who say that there are UFOs in caves in the hills in this area as well. So if there is a connection between places, I would say that the triangle theory is certainly would hold up under scrutiny, much like the Bermuda Triangle.
And they all have water.
Yes.
Yeah.
MacArthur has a lake.
Oh.
Yeah. Is that it? Anybody else? Come see me if you have any questions. I'd love to talk to you. Thanks.